Welcome to a new video! Today we are going to share 28 things we have learned from living in Malaysia for the past 3 months. This video is mostly going to focus on Kuala Lumpur, but majority of the things can apply to any location that you visit in Malaysia.
But why did we stay in Malaysia for 3 months? It's kind of a random number, but that's because of our British and Portuguese passport, which allowed us to stay in Malaysia for 90 days visa-free.
And to make things clear, some of the things that we will be talking about will be Malaysian Ringgit, which is the currency that they use in Malaysia. And £1 of this currency equivalates at around 5 to 6 Ringgit.
But let's get with the big question first. Is Malaysia worth visiting? 100,000 million %. Yes.
And it may seem that in this video we get through things quite fast, but if you've got any questions, make sure you put them in the comments because we are always here to help.
Always. If you're a tourist looking to go to Malaysia, you're probably wondering if it's a safe country. And in our opinion, we generally felt safe and we explored so many places. But just because nothing happened to us, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be careful. Everywhere you go, you should always be cautious and aware of your surroundings.
And it's quite funny because a lot of the people that we know have always messaged us saying, oh, we're not visiting Malaysia because it is an expensive country. It's literally next to Singapore, which is known for being a very wealthy country. But no, Malaysia is quite affordable. I mean, if you are going to Michelin star restaurants and you're staying in 5-star hotels, well, yeah, it won't be as affordable, but we were literally eating for about 10 to 15 ringgit per person, which ends up being around £2, and that's hell affordable.
So it is affordable if you know where to look and you actually spend the time planning your trip carefully. But if you don't know where to start, we spent so much time putting together this amazing Google Maps list with over 95 locations in Kuala Lumpur, with local restaurants, landmarks, shopping malls, rooftop bars, and you definitely don't want to miss out on these places. So make sure you go to the top of the description and that's where you find the link to the Google Maps list put together by us.
One of our main concerns visiting Malaysia was, are we going to be able to communicate easily? Do people speak English? And to our surprise, because we didn't know anything about Malaysia, people speak amazing English. It's obviously not the English that you see in the UK, in Australia, in America, but for being a Southeast Asian country, I'd probably say it's one of the top English-speaking countries.
Having said that, we also found that Malaysia has an incredible mix of cultures. You will find Chinese, Indian, Bangladesh, Indonesian, and that's not a bad thing, okay? I'm just highlighting all the diversity that you will find there.
And this also applies to food, but we will talk about that slightly later. One of the main things that you will worry about when you want to visit Malaysia is, do I stay in hotels or do I pick Airbnbs? Now, we have done a full video explaining our choice, but we personally recommend Airbnbs over hotels because you can have a way more luxury lifestyle for way better prices.
I mean, look at this place that we stayed for £16 per night. There is a lot of debate between travelers about getting an eSIM or a physical SIM card, but in our opinion, we always choose an eSIM because it's so much more convenient. We can literally have data as soon as we land, and for 15 days of unlimited data, we only pay $2.75 per day, which in my opinion is so good.
And we are also going to leave in the description the company that we used because in our opinion, it's one of the best companies out there providing eSIMs. But Malaysia is one of those countries that says, either go big or go home. They've literally got one of the biggest shopping malls in the world. And not only that, Kuala Lumpur has the longest street food market. Now this market only opens on Wednesdays, but they still have it.
And you've probably heard of famous landmarks like the Batu Caves, the Petronas Twin Towers, and the KL Tower. But with these landmarks and many others that we've added to the Google Maps list, it's so important that you arrive early because they get extremely busy. Busy? Because they get extremely busy later in the day.
And that's if you want the perfect Instagrammable picture. If you don't care about all the people being there, just go wherever you want. And it's also a city where you will never get bored. It's got over 70 shopping malls. Now this means that if you were to go to one shopping mall every weekend, you would still have for an extra year.
If you do go to shopping malls, let us know how many you get to because we did 34.
In
24 hours.
In less.
Oh yeah, because we did 24 in 12 hours. But if you do have time, there are things that you can do outside of Kuala Lumpur. For example, you can go to Borneo, which is home to Mount Kinabalu, the tallest mountain in Malaysia. And within that mountain, you can also do the highest via ferrata in the world. I really wish we had the money to do it. But
we were going to do it, we were planning to do it, but you know, the most important thing in this world to allow you to do things, aka money, is what we didn't have.
Yay.
And within that same island, you've also got exotic and exclusive animals to Borneo. And I'm sure you've seen some of this in like Instagram or like viral reels. And one of them is the Proboscis monkey, which has the ugliest nose I've ever seen. Like even uglier than mine.
They are so cute. He's lying.
But if you also want to see exotic birds closer to KL, you've got a very small island called Penang. And there you can see Oriental hornbills.
Native, just living there, living their life. You can even try and feed them if you're feeling brave.
And you will 100% see one because there's one street where they always hang out.
However, Penang Island is on the west side of Malaysia. So if you want more pristine beaches and paradise alike, you want to be going to the east coast, specifically the Perhentian Islands. But be aware that in the rainy season, that island is completely closed. You can't go there.
And most of the East Coast islands, and that's why we didn't end up going to any of them. Great, that's our luck.
We're so lucky.
We've been speaking about Kuala Lumpur, about other locations that you can visit, the language, people, but let's get to the real deal.
The most important part.
At least for us, or 90%, the food. The things that give me these gains. Maybe not now, maybe not now. But something that really surprised us when we went to Malaysia is that when you sit on a normal restaurant, you don't get a knife. So you will always get a spoon and a fork, which is quite odd the first time that you use that. And we are really not sure why that happens. So if you are a local to Malaysia or you are a tourist that knows why that happens, let us know in the comments because we are dying to know.
Oh no! You see, my hands are the solution to everything. Even eating some dishes in Malaysia. It's actually traditional to eat certain dishes with your hands. Right hand specifically. So don't be surprised if you see that in a restaurant. And actually, join in. Immerse yourself in the culture.
It was quite fun. I think at a certain point, we started doing that everywhere we went. And we felt Malaysian, even though we don't really look like.
Just make sure you wash your hands before and after because every restaurant will have hand washing facilities.
Malaysia is predominantly a Muslim country, which translates into the food by being mostly halal.
So you're gonna eat my face there. Halal. Oh my god! That could have been so dangerous. Oh my god. Oh.
I could have lost my teeth there.
Yeah. But you still have Chinese restaurants which do serve non-halal. You also have a lot of Indian restaurants as well, which is like all of our favorite cuisines all mixed up. Except for the really spicy food that gives us bad stomach after.
I think all the ethnicities that you've got in Malaysia translate into the food, meaning that you've got such a variety of food that it's difficult to choose, it's difficult to decide which is the best. But right now we're going to tell you some of the best dishes that you need to try in Malaysia. My favorite drink in Malaysia, which I only found out about it 2 weeks before we left Malaysia, is teh tarik, which if I'm not wrong, it's like a milky tea with sugar. It's whoa!
But what used to be Mac's favorite drink is still my favorite drink, and it's teh ice, which is literally iced tea. But the best way to have it is to ask for it to take away, because they will give you a literal plastic bag and you get a straw and you just drink as you go. It's so inventive that it's something I've never seen before. I get it, it's plastic, it's not good for the environment, but that's how they do it. I embrace the culture. Exactly.
And if you are staying in the restaurant, in some places, they will legit give you a flower pot. I mean, you have the flower pot and they put the tea in a bag which stays in the flower. I don't know what they think about when they give you that, but that's how they do it.
I guess it's the cheapest thing in IKEA because they will give you either a flower pot or a cutlery holder. And teh tarik is actually recognized as a UNESCO dish. I don't even know what that means, but it means it's important and it is known worldwide. But two other dishes that are also recognized as UNESCO dishes is the nasi lemak and the roti canai.
And the roti.
Roti canai.
And we tried these ones. And it's a must try if you go to Malaysia. It's a crime if you don't. You shouldn't even go.
And if any of our Malaysian subscribers are watching, please let me know if our pronunciation has improved since our last video where Max
called it. I think a tiny bit.
Roti canai. Canal, you even called it.
And another food that in my opinion should also be recognized as a UNESCO dish It's the Ramly burger, which for all those foreigners that are watching this video, is a halal burger, but it's a bit more advanced. It's also wrapped in egg, lettuce, sauce. You can get it however you want, but we did a video comparing McDonald's and the Ramly burger, and we ended up preferring the Ramly burger, and it's much cheaper. The benefits are infinite compared to Mackey's.
And you are super lucky if you want to make the most of your trip, holiday. You can actually stay up all night because most restaurants stay open until very late, especially local restaurants.
Those are the 28 things that we think you should know before visiting Malaysia. Let us know in the comments which one blew your mind.
And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Put the like.
See ya.
Put the like, subscribe, and Google Maps locations list. Woo!